What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, and welcome once again to my weekly gaming news show that I haven't done for about a month. Now, the reason I took a break was because E3 was just so much gaming news and so much videos. It made me really just want to go play some video games. So on stream, I've been playing Friday the 13th. I've been playing a bit of Disgaea 5 on my Switch. I've been playing the Crash Bandicoot reboot with my wife. I've been playing through Far Cry 4 again. I actually put 20 hours into Far Cry 4. I'm about halfway through the game. Surprisingly better than I remembered, but I decided I would just go play some video games instead of talk about them all the time because I felt like I haven't played a game in forever. But before we get started, can I give a shout out to my sponsors over at Crunchyroll? Now, the folks over at Crunchyroll have made watching anime streaming directly to your device one of the easiest things in the world to do. So easy that I actually have gotten back into it. A lot of people don't know this, but I gave up on anime in the 90s because it was so difficult to afford it and to find the tapes and to be able to rent them or trade them or buy them. But because they make it so easy, I've actually got back into anime, watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recently. I'm currently working my way through Attack on Titan, and then after that, I'm going to look at My Hero Academia. But Crunchyroll will be a big portion of my recovery plan for this upcoming surgery. I plan to watch a lot of anime, but what I'm looking for is something funny. I'm looking for something funny and completely over the top and completely bizarre, and I'm taking recommendations for you. So if you have a recommendation, please let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to try Crunchyroll for yourself, all you got to do is go to crunchyroll.com/BOOGIE or click on the link in the description box below. And if you do that, you can get 14 days for free, and you'll be helping me out at the same time. So Destiny 2 is coming up, and I've been fairly silent about it, but it does release in just a couple of months, and people are wondering why I've not talked about this game, and it's because, to be honest with you, I am very hopeful for this game, but I have so much doubt. I just, until I play it, I can't get excited about it. The good news is the beta is coming out next week, so if you want to, you can preload it on your Xbox or your PlayStation right now. You can't do it on PC, which is really frustrating to me, but there will be a PC beta. Apparently, that's going to happen in August, and if you want to get signed up for that, you want to connect your Bungie account with your Battle.net account. It's strangely coming out on Battle.net, but that makes sense because Activision now does own Blizzard. But once bitten, twice shy, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed Destiny. I just couldn't get into the grind of it. And that's the thing. What keeps me interested in a game or compelled about a game is a narrative, and they are promising a lot of narrative here. In fact, one of the developers of the game said that they hope that they see a Reddit post saying there's too much story in this game. I don't know if that's possible unless the story sucks. But yeah, I hope that is a Reddit post we see too. Well, my problems with Destiny went much deeper than that. Just the lack of diversity in the gameplay and the lack of diversity in settings, the lack of diversity in monsters to fight, how all of the monsters were just kind of bullet sponges. It was really frustrating. And some of the expansions did address some of those issues, but hopefully this game will address all of them. The problem is, I think the beta is going to give us some idea of what we can get our hands on, but number one, there's already a list of bugs that will affect you when you play the beta, and that's disconcerting since the game is only 2 months from release. And then secondly, how can they really show us very much story there or show us what's new? I think it'll probably just be like most betas, which is just a multiplayer match or two that you can play over and over and over again. Hopefully there's some PvE stuff. Hopefully there's some storyline stuff that can give us a taste. And if it's there, well, I'll gladly eat my words. But the problem is, if everything they've promised is actually in this game, then I'm in trouble because I'm addictive when it comes to these types of games. Hey, are you kidding me? Like an MMORPG with guns, it's a shooter that I can play on my PC. Oh, God, and I need to be doing other stuff, not playing just one video game all day, every day. So hopefully, I mean, if it does turn out to be just as good as they're promising, that might turn out to be just as bad for me because it means I'll have to shy away from it because I'll never be able to play it. Because if I do, it's either play it for 0 hours or play it for 1,000 hours if it's good. But that's why I've been relatively silent about Destiny 2, because I'm worried about it sucking. I'm also worried about it being awesome. Now, in other outrage news, there's a game called Ark Survival Evolved. And if you've never heard about this game, it is one of those Minecraft clones with fairly decent graphics and also dinosaurs. It has dinosaurs. You can eat dinosaur poop if you want to. I did. It killed my character, but I did it. Now, when this game was dropped into early access a couple years back, I enjoyed it. The problem is, I very rarely ever recommend early access titles for a lot of different reasons, and Ark Survival Evolved is probably the perfect example of one of those reasons. While some of the games that are in early access simply never get finished, or they get finished in a half-decent state and the final version of the game is terrible, this is a game that has continued to be developed for 2 years. It is now finally coming out of early access and going into full release. With double the price, though. When this game launched in early access, it was $30. And now that they're getting close to the release date, they decided they would charge $60 for it. And that would make sense if they waited till the release date to actually raise the price And they say they are doing it because they'd always planned to do that, number one, give early access at a cheaper price and then give the full version of the game at a more expensive price. They're also saying they're doing it because they're releasing it on the consoles in a physical edition, and they want to charge a full $60 there, so they want to have price parity for the PC version as well. All of that is well and good. I still don't understand why, if it's still in early access, now they've raised the price. Like, why not wait till the release date and let anybody else get it between now and then? And that's not the only problem with this company, because this company has done things that can be considered greedy in the past as well. The way I've always considered it, early access is kind of like a paid beta program. You are paying to play the beta version of the game and to support them as they create the full version of the game. But these guys actually thought it would be cool to release paid DLC, which costs $20, almost as much as the original price for the game, during its early access phase. And obviously, if you're paying for the base game, you're paying for them to complete the base game. The fact that they diverted resources to not complete the base game, but instead to work on DLC, which contains stuff that you can only get even in the early access phase of things by paying that extra $20, is bizarre and fascinating. And as far as I know, that is not included in the $60 version of the deal either. The $60 version will still have that $20 DLC on day one. Part of me wants to support this. If it were any other company, I think I might, because the idea of early access games being cheaper while they're in early access just kind of makes sense. And I understand that if you're going to have a physical copy of the game, maybe you do need price parity across it. We see that with Nintendo Switch right now as well. Frustrating, but reasonable. But because it's coming from this company and they've done such greedy things in the past, it is very, very frustrating and very, very difficult to support them. They need a new PR company there or something, because this is just not a smooth move for them, which sucks because their game is actually pretty good. I mean, it's better once it's modded by the community, because the community does better work on this game than they do on their own game. But that said, it is a fun game worth downloading. I think especially on PC, where you can easily mod it. I just don't think it's worth $60. And then finally, I want to talk about a game that I've been playing nonstop on stream, which is the game Friday the 13th, the game. Now, this is a game you've probably seen me stream and upload videos about. You've probably seen a lot of other YouTubers do it too, and that's because this is the perfect streaming game. If you're a streamer, if you're a YouTuber, and you can share this with your audience, it can be a lot of fun. But if you're just somebody sitting alone in your bedroom doing not much else, this is a very frustrating game to play. Maybe if you have a group of 5 or 6 friends who you can play with, then it can be fun. But just pickup games are just dismal. This is not a good game, especially with what little content there is and how buggy it is, and especially at the price. $40 for this game, no bueno. But now they are still working on a lot of free DLC, and as that free DLC does continue to hit, including the single-player portion of the game, I think that the value prospect will change. They'll work out the kinks and the bugs as well, and I think you'll see this on console sale and Steam sales for $30 or $20. I think right about the 20-point price point. Once all that extra DLC is there, then it's probably worth picking up. But that's not why I want to talk about this game. This game has actually been brought up in a controversy recently due to banning some players in the game. And here's one of the things. There are some pretty bannable offenses in this game. Specifically, one is helping Jason. If you help Jason out as a counselor, if you help Jason out and help him find other players and help him kill other players, that will get you banned from the game if you're caught doing that, as well as exploiting, hacking, and things along that lines. That'll get you kicked out as well. Recently, the developers actually banned somebody for something completely different, something that doesn't seem to even be in the terms and services as far as I could tell, and that is saying and doing things that the developers felt were inappropriate over in game chat. Now, the banned user goes by the name of Dilly Dingus, and according to his first-hand account, he was basically shit-talking in-game, across the line, I think, and stuff that I would never feel comfortable saying, but still he was comfortable saying it. And he actually ended up playing in a game in which people claimed to know the developers of the game, said that he continued to shit talk, they would get them banned. He finished that game, continued to play a few other games, then woke up the next morning to a permanent ban. But now along with that ban came a statement from the developers of the game, and they said that they received a video showing him sexually harassing a young female who was playing the game at the time. And because of that video, that's why they banned him. And now we're in this kind of a he said, she said situation where, the folks at Turtle Rock say that's what happens. But then the user, Dilly Dingus, and one of his friends have made official statements saying that's not the case at all. And I actually feel kind of torn on this situation because I do like shit talking in a game. And I do really feel like if it's not against the terms of services and they didn't make it part of the terms of services that you can't shit talk, then I don't understand why things are bannable. In fact, I probably even crossed the line to maybe nearly bannable whenever I play this game just by screwing around. However, I do think it's probably right to ban somebody who's sexually harassing a minor. Absolutely. The problem is we have two conflicting stories here. The developer saying one thing and the user saying something completely different. But the thing is, we don't have to have that. We don't have to have a he said or she said situation. You say there's a video and you've seen the video, share part of the video, show that this is something that actually happened, and then everybody's going to be on Turtle Rock's side. The problem is, because it is he said, she said right now, a lot of people are presuming that these people who said they did know the developers do in fact know the developers and got them banned without any proof or without any actual just reason. So that's why I'm going to try to defer to you here. I'm curious as to what you think about this controversy. Had you even heard about it? Is this a game you've even heard about? If you have, what do you think about this? Should people get banned for shit talking a video game? How far is too far? How obnoxious is too obnoxious? Let me know in the comment section below, but more importantly, let me know if you think the developer should release this video, because I absolutely do, and I think that you probably will too. And that's it. The show is back, but that's all the gaming news I had for this week. I'm trying to keep these under 10 minutes or even closer to 6 or 7. The problem is I just keep going on and on about these games. I love talking about this stuff, and I love sharing it with you. I'm trying to get it down to a shorter, briefer instance so that you guys don't have to worry about it. But that said, this is all one man's opinion. I could be wrong, and if I am, let me know in the comments section below. While you're down there, drop a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't, and click on that sponsored link. Visit crunchyroll.com/BOOGIE. If you do that, you're supporting me. Any of that supports me. But more importantly, thanks for supporting me just by watching. So thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.